Hello guys, welcome to my Let's Play of Don't Starve. This is actually a game I got from RT, because when you buy the game apparently you get 2 copies and he gave one to me because he's just such a nice guy. I actually didn't want to play this game, I don't even know why, I just didn't feel like it, and when I did start it I actually ended up playing way more than he did, so yeah, I quite like this game. So if you don't know what this game is all about, then don't worry, I'll be explaining all I can about it when I start soon enough. So if you have already played this game, then maybe you should skip ahead a bit until I get to the meat of the game, because obviously introduction is kind of boring where you just collect stuff. So right from the get-go, you actually have one character, and as you play along and die, you get experience, after which you can unlock more characters. I'm not going to show the other characters because I don't want to spoil that. It's actually kind of fun to figure out all the kind of characters there are. So the very first one is called Wilson, and he grows a magnificent beard. Yes, they all have their own little stats. And believe it or not, growing a beard actually is not totally useless and not a joke. It actually is useful for gameplay, believe it or not. Now, the world is completely randomly generated, so every time you start in the world, you will pretty much have to relearn the old world. You have to figure out what all the stuff is. Obviously, do have map and stuff. And yes, that's the game's voice acting. As you probably already know, this game has a very unique art style. As you can probably tell, it's a very distinctive. So, right when we start off, you can start collecting stuff. Many grass. Grass is really important, as we'll see later on. So, to the top right, you see the day-night cycle. This game has a day-night cycle. When it's night, you have to get a fire somehow, otherwise you literally die. You cannot survive when there is absolutely no light. You get eaten by a monster, the Gru. It's not fun. The brain thing is your sanity meter. As you play, you slowly start becoming more and more insane, especially if you travel in dangerous areas. And the more insane you get, the more you start hallucinating. Yeah, it's pretty cool and it has some pretty fun effects, and it really can start getting bad once the meter gets too low. The bottom left thing is your hunger, which obviously is by itself. If you have no hunger left, or, well, I guess if you're too hungry, that makes more sense. Your health is still draining, which is obviously the heart, which you already figured out, obviously, because you are a smart guy, aren't you? So, as you start off, pretty much collect everything you see. Pretty much everything you can find as of yet is useful in some way. As you can see, I'm collecting seeds, cut grass, petals, twigs. Sounds pretty useful, but this is the ingredients, materials you'll use to make your basic tools, and then you can get more tools, etc. You probably know how this works in general. So to the left you have all the stuff you can craft. Top you have tools like pickaxes, axes, shovels, hammers, pitchforks, stuff like that. Below you got everything related to fire. Below that you got survival, which is mainly traps, backpack. It's pretty much a miscellaneous tab really, where everything doesn't fit in another tab goes in there. Below that you got food, which is mainly just farming stuff. You can make crockpots, which are pretty useful if you know how to use them. Below that science, which I'll explain later on, mainly unlocks even more ingredients. That's all I'm going to say for now. Below that you got structures, which you're probably not going to see me doing too much with those. Again, if you do know this game, I've played this game for 20 hours. There's still a lot I do not know. If you're wondering, I have never gotten the Shadow Manipulator before, so I do not know exactly what that does. But that'll be a secret once I actually do get there finally. You can build chests on this tab, Science, which I built one and I couldn't edit the text. I do not know how it works, or if that was a glitch or not. That was really odd. But anyway, and also dresses, which are not cosmetic. They actually do serve a purpose, believe it or not. Including, if you have 12 flowers, petals, you can make a flower hat, pretty much. Yep, which lets your sanity drain slower. So it's actually really useful. Also really easy to make. So the first thing you probably will build is on survival. Your backpack, you need 4 cut grass and 4 twigs for it. So obviously very easy to get. And once you craft it, you get 8 more spaces, which are really useful, and that's, again, probably the very first thing you should craft. The next thing you should craft is something called the science machine, which is under here. Requires a gold nugget, 4 logs, and 4 rocks. This is the machine that will allow you to unlock even more recipes. Let's start making some tools. An axe, which requires just 1 twig and 1 flint. Very easy to make. Now, for the first day, you absolutely have to get wood. Again, if you do not have wood, you cannot make, oh god, bees, which thankfully do not attack you. If you do not have wood, you cannot make the fire, the campfire under here. And again, as I said, if you can't make fire and it's night, then you literally just die. That's it. So always make sure you have fire on hand. You do not want to know when I first started playing this game how often I friggin' died because I couldn't make a fire. It was just embarrassing. Like right now, when the little arrow goes to the blue part, then you better have some fire ready. Otherwise, well, that's it. Let's see what else is there to talk about. Next, you should probably, after you got the backpack and you got enough wood, you should probably also have enough food in general. You can also cook food when you get the campfire, but you should also make sure to have the golden nugget, which again can be used to make the science machine. You should preferably have a science machine by the very first day. That's what I do. I actually always waste my first golden nugget making a science machine, and then move away from my camp, my quote-unquote fake camp, temporary, until I find a place where I actually will stay permanently, and then I build another science machine. So it's kind of wasted, but I just want to get all the new crafting recipes as early as possible. So you probably will get enough gold nuggets by the end of the 4th day to easily make another one. How far am I tonight? Not too far. Let's look at the map. By pressing tab, you can see where you've explored, etc. What's on the map, you can see where bees are, where bushes are, grass, sapling, pretty useful stuff. And more importantly, where the ocean is, which sadly you cannot pass. There's no boat or anything you can make to cross the ocean, which is really annoying. Like, I thought you could do that when I first played this, but nope. So when you see this is pretty much a dead end, and you can actually be enclosed very easily with the because of the ocean. So that's really annoying because you gotta find the one single small way out so you can actually keep exploring. I don't think the world is infinite, because when you start you can actually go to custom settings and actually have settings sorry, I actually have settings for a bigger world, so the world must be fitted in some way, but I've not really run into any end, and I did explore quite a lot. Also, you got pickaxe. You can also explore, examine stuff if you shift click and stuff, so it's a pretty amusing stuff the characters say, and all characters actually say completely different things, which is pretty damn cool. Oh, and I just found out that it's really hard to concentrate on the game while talking, even harder than I thought, so yeah, if I miss anything obvious, like, I don't even know, like something really good, then it's because I am distracted by myself. Ah, great fun. Mushrooms. About mushrooms, there are 3 kinds of mushrooms. Red ones, which are universally terrible. You have no reason to eat them. They reduce your health and sanity, I think. Yeah, all mushrooms reduce sanity. Yeah, time to make a campfire before I die. And there we go. Campfire requires just 3 grass and 2 logs. You should preferably, for the first day, make your campfire, which will be temporary, obviously, near trees, because you are going to have something to do while you're just waiting around, because once it's night, everything next to the campfire is lit, obviously, and everything outside the campfire is fully dark. You cannot see a damn thing. Yeah, if you stay inside there, then you will get attacked. Which I'm not going to show off, because I like to keep my health and, yeah, life, really. You can also cook food, which oddly enough, berries, you can also cook berries. If you cook those, they actually become worse. They reduce less. They make you, yeah, awkward to explain. They sate less hunger, there you go, than if you just leave them uncooked. That's kind of odd, so. Carrots, so you totally can cook. Which is odd, because you can see that they're clearly cut in the picture, even though you have no knife or anything, so. That's slightly odd. Cooking pretty much everything makes the food better. Again, except for berries for some reason. Let me show you what happens if you do cook them. Yeah, it just turns into a goop, pretty much. You examine it. He actually says that the heat did not improve them. I didn't know that he actually meant that in a gameplay way, like, it literally made them worse. So I always cook berries when I first started. Yep, don't do that, doesn't do anything. And as you already noticed, the fire totally does get smaller, so you will need to keep adding logs and stuff, or anything that's flammable to keep the fire going. But it's almost daytime again, so I'm not going to waste any resources, because it's gonna be fine. See? There you go. Awesome. Now that I cook everything I need to cook, yeah, pretty much. I just had carrots. That's literally all I had on me. And the hunger. My hunger is about half, so let's eat some carrots. Why not? Some berries, and get on our way. As you can see, you need to eat quite a lot to sate your hunger by a decent amount. Food will, again, the game is called Don't Starve, so food is really important. You need to get quite a lot of it. Now, I've pretty much just been doing nothing in this big circle. There's really not a lot to do here. Oh, it's a path, as you can see the grey line. There's a little path, which, if you walk on it, you actually walk faster. Interesting, isn't it? Again, the bees never attack you, usually. So I lied. They actually, when the bees are red, they actually do attack you. There's different types of bees. Okay, something really weird which makes absolutely no sense. You can kill butterflies with an axe, which is really all by itself. And you can pick up its wings, somehow. It actually says something pretty funny if you examine them. Yep. I see what you did there. And funnily enough, butterflies actually, fun fact, have a 2% chance of literally dropping bomber. I'm not even kidding. That's, again, just this game very unique sense of humor. Which you also see if you examine the rabbit holes. Like, what? I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, clearly your main character is already insane before he even began. Like, I don't even know what the crap he's talking about half the time. I just make an axe and get rid of this nasty rock, which again, it should do to get gold nuggets. Which drop, there you go, that's what you need. Which drop from boulders, along with rocks, flint, and nitra, which, that's useless pretty much. You will never use that. It's used to make gunpowder, which explodes, but yeah, I just never do that. It's just not something I've used ever. So I just don't waste my inventory space by picking that up. It's just not worth it, pretty much. How much grass do I have? 25. Grass does stack? Thankfully. I mean, if it didn't stack, then that would be just broken. And it stacks up to 40, so once I get 40, I probably should start collecting stuff. If you're wondering what resource is more useful, as I wonder why I'm enclosed in the tiny space ever. Look at this. Look at this. I've never had that happen before. That's quite new. If you're wondering what resources are more important than others, grass, grass, and grass. Grass is so freaking important. You need it for so many recipes. So if you see grass, then you probably should pick it up. Unless you have 40, then you should keep picking on grass because you need it for so many things. It's not even funny. Twigs are, they become useless pretty quickly. You really do not need more than 20 at any time. They are pretty much used just for making, not campfires. For making tools, really, that's about it. You really will not be using it for anything else. I got 3 gold nuggets. You should get 7, by the way. I'm not going to explain why exactly, but aim to get 7. Getting 1 is good for the first couple of days, but later on you're going to need at least 7 to make the next step. Again, pointless to explain that. I'm not running away, because you haven't even seen the regular science mission yet, so I don't want to throw information on you so you get confused, which I'm doing anyway, but still. No point talking about stuff that we haven't seen yet.